Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Tough, and as you can see, I'm getting a little bit better. Still cough every once in a while, but I am slowly getting my voice back. But I thought that we would hang out and do some Death Guard models. If you don't know, in the last stream I started doing them, and yeah, the thing about contrast is I love it. It just takes a long time to dry if you're going to paint over it. And so I have found that if you don't give it enough time, all of a sudden you'll start scraping up that contrast. We don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. Let me close out of some other stuff here. And we will go to the downward cam here. So let's see. Got some Death Guard. Oh, light's having a little trouble focusing. There we go. That's better. Let's grab all these guys. And so the way I get the, I'll put more pictures up on Instagram, but the way I get the bone-colored Death Guard, actually I'm going to play some music. I forgot I wanted to do that before I started. But the way I get that is basically using the Skeleton Horde contrast over white, and then dry brushing it with your Shop Debone to kind of bring the color back up a little bit brighter. And I don't know, I like it. It pops really well. And Screaming Skull if you want to do an extreme highlight, which I'll probably do for the heroes, but not so much for the basic grunt. Let's see. We want to listen to Calm. Calm sounds good. There we go. We'll just have a nice little chill and hang out. See the chat's online and working. Hello, Kenzie. Let me grab my... Alright, I'm trying to get into the practice of finding where the right brush is from this cool set of brushes that I got. On there. It's gotta be one of these. Dry brush. Alright. I just finished recording basically all the stuff that I got at Nova, which was quite a bit because, you know, I was exposed to new vendors and all kinds of stuff. Cool things to interact with. Got Screaming Skull. Shop Debone. Here we go. So yeah, what's everybody else working on? If you got questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm happy to help. Got your Skull Taker ready to hang out. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. I don't know how to say that first word, but Kellis. Sweden says, what's up? I feel better. Thank you so much. I am. You know, it's one of those, it's a weird stage of like getting better where I have the energy of like as if I was better, but all of a sudden like you get into a coughing fit and you're just like, I'm still not well. Actually, that's a really great detail dry brush, but I want something bigger. We're gonna have a lot of surface area to cover. Okay. Let me grab my big one. Okay, here we go. Finishing up my Desert Iron Jaws. Nice. That's awesome. When is Army on parade? I'm curious. I always forget. The Gundam Nub Ossiarch Legions. Are you asking my thoughts about them, or just a general question for the universe? Army on parade is October. Thank you. It's Constantine with an extra OS at the end. Oh, okay. Constantinos. Cool. Yeah, my opinion. Okay, I like them. I will not be getting them. Kind of the same way I feel about Deepkin, where it's like, I really like that model exists, and I'm so happy that people love it. I'm just not gonna grab it. And the reason is, I was there at the preview event, and at the preview event, I was like, yes, I'm getting this faction. And that's because there was no scale to show us what the models looked like at the preview event. They just showed the kind of studio pictures, right? And And then when I went outside of the GW event, and they had like the little storefront with, like the actual they had actual models on display like from that range right there, painted, ready, looking good. The thing is that I was hoping that they were going to be like an elite version of Death, like low model count, kind of like an honor guard type thing, which they might still be. But I was just a little disappointed when I saw that the basic dude is still on 25s, and I was like, I'll pass. I got enough horde armies in my life. I don't need that. And plus, Death is just not a faction that's, and like if a screaming good deal for a Death army came up, I'd jump in the faction, but it's not one of those ones that I like actively search out kind of thing. I don't know if that makes any sense. Not super deeply passionate about it. I did throw in a bunch of money at the basic dudes on 25. Yes, yeah. Whatever their lowest infantry dude is. Hey, Oakshand, hello. So yeah, it's I don't know. It just wasn't my flavor of army. I love the idea behind them though. Like I'm so excited to read that lore in the book because the idea of like constructs just has always been my favorite. Just any kind of fantasy lore, where you can, and like the idea that they have multiple souls jammed inside of them, so they can like pull from different experiences and worldviews. I just thought that was so stinking cool. Sorry. That's going to happen every once in a while. I'm sorry, guys. If it blows your eardrums out, let me know, and I'll turn my mic off. Let's see. I don't want to miss somebody. I feel like I just missed a comment. Spezia, hello. Congrats. Thank you so much. Yeah, on my 8 years with my lovely wife. Yeah, she's amazing. What's more amazing is she put up with me on my whole trip to Nova, and then I came back and I am sick. And let me tell you something. I'm pathetic when I'm sick. My lovely wife is a saint. I just kind of lay around and go, I don't feel good. So she's awesome. Let's see, Jack. Ada, good to catch you live again. Enjoyed Nova coverage. Haven't managed to catch you on Twitch recently. Have you left the platform? I kind of have. So basically, there was like a 2-week period where the streaming service that I use, like the Streamlabs that lets me send broadcasts to 2 different places, whatever reason, the Twitch end of things kept crashing the stream, and it just wouldn't function. And I had very, very few people who watched me over there, and so I was just like, I pulled the plug just to get it working. Just so I can keep making content reliably, and then I'm slowly figuring it out. It's also just not nearly as much AOS tube, I guess. over on Twitch. AOS twitching, I guess, is the thing. I guess there's Honest Wargamer and GW has their own site, but that's about it. There's a few other hobbyists who do cool things. But I still use Twitch personally. I like the platform. Just for some reason, I'm not sure what happened. If they had like a software update or something. Spezia, what are you painting? This is Death Guard stuff from Dark Imperium for 40k. So I have a little Blight drone flyer dude, the heroes, and a bunch of, what's it called? What's the basic Death Guard guy called? Plague Marines, there we go. So yeah. Jack, yeah, go ahead and use your Prime sub somewhere else. I super appreciate it, and it's very humbling. I don't want to deprive another Twitch user of that. So go ahead, my brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was just weird. So yes, Franklin, which Chaos guy would you kill, Mary's crew? Oh, this was on Legends of the Pennyman as well. I'll tell you what, C.S. Franklin. I'll answer this one, and then we're gonna get off the topic of Sex and sexuality, because that was the other question you asked earlier. Let's see. I think I'd kill Korn, marry Nurgle. Kill, marry. There's only 3 options, but there's 4 Chaos Gods. So if I had to take a pass on one of them, I'd pass on Slaanesh and do a one-night stand with Tzeentch. There we go. That's your answer. Okay, let's see here. Wait, a drone? I thought you couldn't be taken by chaos. No, the Death Guard. It's not actually a plague drone. They have this cool flying mechano thing. It's not a plague drone like a Nurgle dude riding the bloatfly, but it's their own little construct they have. Also, I can also announce. So I already announced it before that my next big project is going to be Nurgle with a slight pirate theme. I'm not going to go hog wild on every model being converted or anything like that, but a few peg legs, few eye patches, so stuff like that. And so last night I went out and I grabbed 2 of the Demon Start Collecting boxes, so I can start building up. So basically, I'm going to have a mixed. For AOS, it's going to be mixed mortals and demons. The idea, and I'll just briefly go through it because I see different names in this stream. The lore behind it is, and this is still developing, so Nurgle needed someone who knew the seas in the realm of life. So he basically corrupted a captain and gave him a new crew. The crew is all plague bearers, along with some demon oversight to make them work efficiently, like a first mate. And then so it's mortal captains and crew, and then also plague bearer demons kind of thrown in there. So that's kind of the idea, is a mix of those things. But since I have demons and I do have Death Guard models for 40k, the demons are going to be largely unconverted, just because I can use them in both systems without having to like come up with a Nurgle theme for my Death Guard here. Or a pirate theme for my Death Guard here. So yeah. So I'm starting with the demon side, because those will be compatible for both systems. And then expanding to the mortal stuff later on. Voted Blight Drone. Thank you, Kenzie. I haven't even cracked open my codex yet, really. So I was trying to think of names for the pirate ship that they're all stuck on together. So far I have the Malevolent Gift. And that's kind of the one I've been sitting with for a little bit. Took me a bit to think about that one. But yeah. So if anyone has a really good name for a pirate ship, or I guess it's just a ship that also happens to be inhabited by pirates. You know what I mean. Age of Slaanesh, what are your thoughts on Monsters and Mercenaries? I'm excited. I didn't watch any of the YouTubers like previews of it, and I was not setting an advanced copy. So I don't know. I'm not upset about that at all. It's fine. I wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested to see. Honestly, the thing that really stands out to me with the previews they gave, more than anything, is the idea of bolt-on missions. So we got that series of campaigns in the core book, and I was excited to see how they were going to expand those things, because they're cool, like little campaigns you can do. Yeah, so I don't know. The idea of those little bolt-on missions is really intriguing to me. The list of monsters, I did see people post like exactly what monsters are there. They're fine, you know. I don't know how they're gonna do on some of the incredibly busy boards that some of those cards make. You know, in terms of like literally moving the base. We'll see. You know. Let's see here. Sorry. Let me get caught up here. Oaks and Doug, did you get your copy of Warcry Anthology yet? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So I'm going to make a video about it. Again, everything got delayed because I lost my voice, but I'm going to make a video about it this weekend, put it up this week. That the book club is going to be focused on the Warcry Anthology this week, or this month, I mean. And I've already read the first story with, oh my gosh, The Unmade. And I just started the second story with the Cypher Lords. So, yeah, I mean, so far I'm liking it. The Unmade one was legit. I'm not super far into the Cypher Lords one, to be super honest, to give you an opinion. But, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you guys are answering that. Let's see. The Fetid Treasure for a ship name. I like that. The Fetid Treasure. Fetid Treasure. Fetid Treasure. Okay. Kenzie, I did not start with the second story. I didn't start the book with the second story. I started the book and I'm now on the second story. Let's see. Jack. Do you still have your large collection of Iron Jaws and Bone Splitters, Doug? If so, are you excited for the new Orc Battle Tome? Personally, can't wait to try. Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, I made a resolution to... Well, first it was a resolution to only play Beasts of Chaos, and that fell apart in about 2 months. And then the second part of that resolution that I made was, okay. Like, let's not be dumb, because I'm somebody who likes to trade armies. My new rule was I'm not going to trade or sell an army until I have 2,000 points of something else ready to go, right? That way I'm never without a fully painted army. I paint way too much to not have an army. So that's the idea. And so I'm selling off the Stormcast right now. They're up on the eBay. And so the 2,000 point army I'm keeping to always have, to keep my promise to myself, is the Iron Jaws. So yes, I do have them. They're not going anywhere until I see the new book for sure. I'm hoping the book adds a lot of flavor to the army. By army, I mean, the new conglomeration of Bone Splitters and Iron Jaws. I'm very excited about that. As far as what I want to see, I don't know what I'd want to see in it, to be honest with you. What I want to see is orcs being mean again. I love their abilities in Warcry of like getting this free movement as long as they get it's like a free charge, but it acts differently in Warcry because it's a move action. So like point being that imagine in AOS if you got a free battalion move thing that they can already do in Iron Jaws, but you had to move directly towards enemy and all these kinds of different rules that are making it to get into combat faster. Would be really, really cool. Let's see. Also, update the AOS Book Club playlist. What needs to be updated? Need you to be more specific. And let's see. Unmade one is cool for sure. Can't wait for the book club review. Yeah, I liked it. It was cool. None of them are like exceptionally deep, but also they're short stories. It's whatever. Just looking for a paint here, one sec. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Been picking up Bretonnians, and I don't know what that second one is. Totingen Guard for Cities of Sigmar. Right on. Possible name of ship, the Blessedly Bloated Brigantine. So if I'm going to an event, it's got to be a name that I can say after like 2 or 3 beers. That one might be a rough one. The Blacktown and Red Feast streams aren't in the AOS Book Club yet. That's so weird. Let me check on that. I just did that a little while ago. So now I'm throwing down some Blood Angels Red on all the capes. Love that combination of red and like the kind of cream, the bone color that Ushabti bone gives. Let's see. Oakshan, did you read the Forbidden Power stories? I have not yet. I have not. I've been basically just surviving my way through work all week, and then I come home and pass out. So I haven't had a whole lot of time. Oh, cool! You use the Games and Gears brushes. They're really cool. Oh yeah, I actually just got these at Nova. I don't buy a whole lot of stuff for myself. Like, you know, I usually trade stuff. That's why I trade armies, because I don't want to spend a ton of money on my hobby, be a burden on my family. But when I do make a purchase, that's just for me. Basically, I always try to do something that I'll use repeatedly a lot, no matter what army I'm playing. And so, for example, like I also bought some really fancy objective markers, that kind of stuff, because no matter what I'm playing, I can always use those. So that kind of stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I paint way too much to keep using terrible brushes that get ruined in a week. Partially because I'm really bad at keeping my brushes clean and that kind of stuff. But also just because I buy the 30 pack from a craft store. So I had a good long talk and did a couple demo paint things with the guys at Games and Gears. They were at Nova, and yeah, I walked up and I was like, "Sell me a paintbrush," and they were just like took me aside and like gave me a little demo and that stuff. It was a lot of fun. And by sell me a paintbrush, I meant convince me to buy your big package of everything, which I ended up doing. Oh, Stoned, hello. Jack, I remember seeing your justification for dumping Beastly Chaos. Horde armies can be meh. Would love to see your Orc boys rolling ones. Yeah. You know, it wasn't just that they were hordes. It's just that they were hordes that just evaporate. So I feel like I just spent more time putting them on the table and then putting them away in my case than I ever did playing them. I was like, yeah, it's a little bit disheartening. Okay, got this guy's little cape. But yeah, I did have some fun with the Beast of Chaos. Like, I just, at the time with the way the points were, and I still think to an extent now, like, I think most of the power in that book is in throwing hordes of dudes that are supposed to die at the enemy and then mopping things up with enlightened on discs. And the whole point was to be chaos undivided. I don't want to do that. Some of the details. These are so much more detailed models than I expected. From like a starter box. It's crazy. So basically I'm trying to get to a point where I can have probably like a 1,500 point list. I think is kind of what my local area tends to play with 40k. I know like my buddy Ben, who is my favorite 40k person, I see him playing a lot of 1,000 point games just for time's sake. And I am super down with that. Have you decided much on the Seraphon army you should pick up? Yeah, so basically, the Seraphon aren't going to happen. Let me put that really. So basically, what happened was this guy had a screaming good deal on Seraphon. So I asked my patrons, like, hey, should I do Nurgle Pirates or should I do Seraphon? And it was pretty much cut in half, right? There was a lot of people who were like, Chaos Pirates sounds amazing. Other folks are like, but there's no Seraphon content. And that's kind of where I was leaning too. I was like, there's just no one talking about Seraphon. And so, the guy had a great deal. It was like 2,000 points for $250. It was something like dirt cheap like that. And so I messaged him and I was like, hey, I'm super interested. I can meet this weekend, that kind of stuff. And then he got really, really flaky on the price. I think it was one of those things like once he realized that someone would buy it at that price, he's like, oh, maybe I'm underselling this. And just started to get kind of shady about how much he wanted for it and when he could meet and trying to stall and see if he can get some better offers, that kind of thing. I was like, nah. And so I just passed on that deal. So as someone who often, as Jack puts it, sells their armies for crackhead prices, when you put a price out there, you got to be able to stick with it. You know what I mean? You can't be second guessing. If you wanted to do that, you should have said like, give me an offer or that kind of thing. So it was weird. My girlfriend will be very sad. I know, and I was actually super sad. Seraphon are going to happen eventually because it's an army. It's one of the few armies I've never actually painted because I paint everything and just trade it. So they are going to happen eventually. It's just a matter of when. Honestly, if they get a new book, I want to see what happens with. They have a large finecast range. I want to see how it goes if GW's aggressively trying to clear that out of their roster. You think of all the most iconic units in that army are finecast. So again, that's not me saying they're going to do that because they definitely didn't for stuff like Skaven. They still have metal models, the weapons teams and junk. But yeah, the idea, like, I want to see what happens with that book. I love it if they came out with a new Slum. And kind of the way they did like the Lord of Change, if you guys remember when that came out, like he used to be like, he's an okay demon model, and then when they came out with the new model for him, he was all like big and massive and BA. You got a little rules update. It was like, oh no, actually he's like super legit. I'm hoping we get a reimagined Slon that is just as terrifying as they're supposed to be in the books. And I hope we get some books about them. Let's see. Joseph, a flying crossbones could be your ship's colors. That'd be cool. I'm gonna figure out how to paint that. If you like to cook, Doug, you should buy an Instapot. Crab legs cooked up in 10 minutes. Do I like to cook? I do like to cook. I'm definitely more of a grill guy. We've definitely eyed some Instapots before. It's one of those things that all of the young married couples we know, you know, they get on a bandwagon and everybody has to have the same thing. Definitely been peer pressure to get one before. Imagine the Yar sounds bubbly and Nurgly. We were thinking of going with Nargles. Okay, let's see. Spetsy, a question. Why does Archaon only have one Ren stat? I don't know. What I want to know is how Gotrek got the Slayer of Kings, right? The better weapon. But I'll tell you what, I went carving some stuff up with Archaon at Nova, and it was a blast. Let's see. Currently just proxying the salon. Yeah, I get that. I wouldn't like dissuade anyone from buying it. It's still a fantastic model, you know. And when it ever goes on the last chance to buy it, I'll grab one just for like nostalgia's sake, just to paint it. But that's not a reason for it right now. You have one. Wait. Okay. Okay. I think it's because Archaon, his rules came out when the game was so young, much like what happened to Karajan. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I gave you like the joke answer, but the truth of the matter is the game has evolved around him. Much like many of this stuff, you figure... what's a good example? I mean, most other books have gotten an update. I mean, Seraphon are in that same boat, that same rough age, roughly speaking, within like a year. And the other, you know, the game just evolves. The language that we use to describe whether a unit is effective or not has changed. By that I mean like base sizes matter now. You know what I mean? For how many attacks you can, or how many dudes in your unit you can pile in, and that kind of stuff. So I think you know, you look at something like Shalaxi Hellbane, who is Keeper of Secrets, who's designed to hunt heroes, right? And the Slayer of Kings, which is by name and definition kills heroes, and how they do their respective things. It's like, nah, like Shalaxi wins most of the time. But that has less to do with like her stat line and more like, you know, the game has just changed a whole lot, and all the things surrounding her and her abilities give her a little boost. There we go. Hey Hugh, good to see you again. Yeah, so basically what we did at the doubles event was I took Archaon, and he went in a Khorne army. We had a Slaughter Priest, give him Brazen Skin, which would be a +1 to his armor, which he can take because he's Khorne. So then he goes down to a 2-up, I believe. And then he's a wizard, so he can Mystic Shield himself. So all of a sudden he's rocking a 2-up, rerolling 1s for a save, and then can ignore mortal wounds on a 5-up. And then what else did we do to him? Oh yeah, well, if you take the, I can't remember, like the Skull Tribe, I think is what it's called, whatever the Khorne, Stormhost equivalent is. They have the one that focuses on demons. Well, Archaon has the demon keyword. And basically, you can spend a command point at the beginning of the combat phase to say Archaon's going to pile in attack twice, and so you get all the attacks from him and Dorgar going in twice, and it's brutal. It can be absolutely brutal. There was only one unit that withstood it, and that was in our second game when we lost. And it was actually a guy who brought Tomb Kings, and I loved it. Constance, yes, he was rerolling the Mystic Shield, but Mystic Shield is not very hard to get off. So, and I don't plan on doing that list anytime again soon. So it worked. I can't remember a single time where it didn't work. Okay, Skullfiend Tribe. Slaughterhost, that's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for Skullfiend. I was looking for Slaughterhost, yeah. Question, how many Demon Princes do the Chaos Gods have in AOS and 40k? Indeterminate. No idea. I doubt that GW would ever put a number on them. Because you have your ones that are, well, in 40k, the way it works, you have your ones that are like in the galaxy at the moment causing all kinds of havoc, and then when a demon is killed, or demon prince, they're sent back to the kind of chaos realm, and they have to, like, I don't know, work their way back to getting back to the real world. I don't think working is really like the right term, but basically it takes time for them to come back. So you have this whole cycle of ones that are here, ones that are the other way, and they kind of rotate. So yeah, indeterminate amount means we don't know how many there are. Let me take a quick sip of my pumpkin spice latte because I'm basic. So let's do that. I think what I'm going to do is paint. I'm trying to get my order correct here of how I want to paint these things. I think I'll just crank out. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll crank out the unit here. Oh, you're very welcome, Hugh. You ask good questions. The problem is the questions, they just rarely have definitive answers. You know what I mean? Just for Games Workshop to keep always having more and more stories and adding stuff. Let's see. Interestingly enough, the book Celestine Living Saint shows exactly that process of a demon prince has to endure to return to real space. Yeah, I knew there was some. I'm not so much sure on 40k, but I was more certain, like, for example, in AOS, like with Scarbram, when he gets sent back, he has to, like, walk around basically the front door to get hurled back. Not Scarbram, Bloodthirster. I don't know why I just equated the two. Spezia bringing out the real math here. I mean, lore-wise, just the AOS Khorne's Vanguard Bloodthirsters, 8 rings. 8 rings have 8 in their command. Each of those have 8 instead. Well, yeah. So there's a lot of Bloodthirsters. Rick, did you get your Games and Gears brushes at Nova? I did. They were there, kind of setting up. Excuse me, setting up their booth. And the boss guy was like, hey, are you looking for brushes? And I was like, yes, actually, I am. I want something that's, you know, an investment kind of brush, right? Or I can use it for a long term. He said, okay, we'll come back in like an hour. I was like, okay. And I didn't have anything going on that day, so I came back in an hour. And he's like, oh man, I've been telling people all day to come back and no one ever did, so I'm going to give you a discount. So basically he gave me a man of my word discount where I got a discount on top of their already low show prices, just because he's a nice guy. He's like, I'm really happy you came back. And yeah, I walked up and I was like, dude, there's a lot of brushes being sold at Nova. Sell me yours. And so we sat down together. He showed me. I actually have. There's 3 different sets of these things. Like there's the ones that are black are like the super hyper detail ones, like for faces. And then there's another set that has 4 in there. These are like he described these as workhorse brushes. Yeah, we just walked through them all. I got some brush cleaner and yeah, it was cool. I really like them. Like I said, I was saying before, I don't spend a whole lot of money on myself. Like when it comes to the hobby, that's why I trade things so frequently. Instead of just buying outright. But brushes are one of those things that, like, no matter what project I'm working on, I can get value out of it. So it's like, yeah, that's a smart move. I don't know how I missed this guy's backpack when I was doing the bone color. Pumpkin spice latte. Are you wearing Uggs too? No, but if you were to pan around my office, you would see all the best posters ever, right? Live, Laugh, Love, the thing, Eiffel Tower, and Audrey Hepburn, all the basic stuff. If you guys haven't watched the College Humor video Defender of the Basic, you should absolutely go watch that. It'll just make you roll laughing. Let's see. Wife and I got ours at Adepticon. Love the portability of them. Got the full set and she got the brushes. Yeah, that's exactly how I did it here. Those are like stereotypes from when I was in junior high. Yeah, Uggs have definitely declined in their, we'll say, market share. Right up there with Crocs. What I'm doing now is I'm kind of putting a base color down on all of the horns and like the Nurgle protrusions that come out of these guys with Wildwood, which is actually my favorite of the browns because it actually does the contrast job, I think, the best as far as like showing raised areas. Cygor brown to me is probably the worst, where it's just that color. Like it doesn't really do the contrast thing. It just kind of turns things that color, which is fine in some cases. Joke's on you, Crocs are having a comeback. Oh no. A Croc renaissance. Well, lucky for me, I live in Seattle, where we are simultaneously ahead of the fashion curve by being cool and hipster, but also behind it because being cool and hipster means you wear stuff from 15 years ago. It's a cool little time warp. Betsy, have a wonderful day. Apparently Crocs makes real shoes now. I love it. I want to rename the stream to like Shoecast. Okay. So here we are. I love the guys that have for Nurgle anyway. The guys that have like antlers. You see it on some of the Blight Kings as well. My favorite. Shoecast. Do you have an opinion on the new Sisters of Battle and Plastic Eldar announcements? Opinion. I'm super happy for the people who play those armies. Am I interested in either of them? No, not really. As far as like owning them. Kenzie, you can go ahead and type your opinion out. For me, it's interesting. So people, I know a lot of Eldar players have been just absolutely jonesing for a plastic aspect warrior. And at the preview, they made it seem like it's not a kit. It's like that aspect warrior. You know what I mean? So I was a little perplexed by that. So I mean, maybe I just misunderstood. You know, that could be 100%. It is kind of there. The language made it seem like it wasn't like a big multi-kit thing that people wanted. As far as Sisters, I'm excited to read their battle tome because honestly, I don't know much about their lore. If I'm super honest with you, like from the sense of, I listened to the Independent Characters, which is a 40K podcast. You should all go listen to. They did an episode that kind of went full bore into the backstory of it all, but their lore is kind of spread out in a bunch of weird places. So, just kind of is what it is. That's basically it. Yeah, I'm just really happy for the people getting what they're excited about. I haven't heard anyone complain about a Sisters of Battle model. Like, I mean, there are some people who are like, oh, I'm not sure I like the hair and that kind of stuff, but all those things can be modified. No one's been like, that is a bad imagining of this thing, right? You know, there you had that with like the Beasts of Nurgle, like the new Beasts of Nurgle kit, where he's kind of like frumpy, happy dog looking thing, and you know, you have people being like, I don't like that imagining of the Beasts of Nurgle, which is different than like, it just doesn't appeal to me. So, I don't know. The thing about their lore, about their founding, is that there's much aside from the general story. Yeah, they kind of have their own little. They are their own side quest. If this were a game, well, you know what I mean. If the history were a game, you think? Let's see. Tom McDuffer. I'd also be surprised if Eldar got anything besides the Banshee. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing where I was a little bit confused by what they were saying, and so you know, people cheered, and I think the expectation was it's going to be a whole range of aspect warriors, but I feel like walking away from that chat, they made it very clear, no, this is it's a one-off model type thing. You know, which, I mean, Banshees are sweet. I like Banshees. As far as the Sisters Battle model, someone asked me, my favorite one is the Pennant Engine. It just looks mean. Yeah. Cool. I don't know how I missed that guy's backpack before, but whatever, I did. I love the Beast of Nurgle. Yeah, me too. I actually do. I just commenting on that there are some people who aesthetically thought it pulled away from Nurgle. But I plan on getting some, because like I said, I'm going to start with Demons for the Age of Sigmar side of things. So I want at least 3, because eventually I want to be able to run the Nurgle's Menagerie Battalion, which is Horticulus Slimex, the guy on the little slug. Or you can like poop trees every turn and like just keep making a huge garden. I think that sounds rad. Yeah, we'll go into this thing. Why not? Anonymous Plays Live. Good to see you at Nova. Hope you're feeling better from the concrete. I'm almost there. I'm coughing a lot. It's kind of killing me, but yeah. Give me one sec here. Are there stats somewhere for the Stormcast Eternal who was previously a Nurgle champion? Nope. Unfortunately, which is a real bummer. You're talking about... Oh, that's the wrong color. Like, man, this brown has turned out really light. It's because I'm using Skeleton Horde. Yeah, no, I've been out of it for a little while. No, Torglug is, or Tornus as he is now, is the character you're talking about. No, there's no rules for him anymore. If I had, I guess, one wish for the Stormcast thing, it'd be like, man, if you make characters, at least release a PDF or something. I don't know. With their stats, it'd be cool. I mean, I'm obviously not opposed to making my own, but I like it when the company does. Disco, no Age of Sigmar Nurgle. What? I am doing Age of Sigmar Nurgle. I am waiting for a few things to come in the mail for it, though. I went out today and I bought 2 start collecting boxes of Nurgle Demons to get me started, because I need to have some stuff to summon. Because one of the builds I want to do is leaning hard into the summoning with the trees, which I know is not their optimal thing. I think there are just other Chaos Gods that do summoning better. Slaanesh being the most egregious. Paint a Night Venator. I don't know how they got a Night Venator out of that dude hefting a huge axe, but whatever. Like, I don't know how they didn't come out with like a new paladin type that he was just like a guy rock, you know, like a Retributor hero or something like that. Nothing about his life as Torglug makes you think he's gonna rock a bow. I guess it may be back when his mortal life, but since becoming a demon dude or Nurgle follower, he wasn't really rocking a bow. Let's see. Decimator? Yeah, I knew him. I just meant like some guy holding the big weapon. I'm not picky about which one. Let's see, what's a tentacle? Looking for any more spikes and junk. Right now is just kind of filling in the shadows of this wicked cool scar the thing has going across its side. Here we go. Let's see. Buko, is it just me, or does the new Ossiak Bone Reapers seem like GW trying to relaunch Tomb Kings like army? Oh, that's been said multiple times. Yeah, I ain't complaining. I don't have any love for the Tomb Kings. I missed the boat because I didn't play Fantasy Battles, but I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's going to be a pretty. I don't know. Already it seems like a fairly divisive release, and I just don't understand why. People, I guess, just wanted Tomb Kings to work forever and are unhappy that they feel like a new army was made rather than just recycling what they already had. And I get it, but also not really. They gotta make models and make money, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Question: what do you think of the new Gotrek model? Oh, the new War Scroll. I mean, he's everything I wanted Archaon to be in a little 4-inch ballistic missile package. Yeah, no joke. Yeah, he's sweet. I don't know how much we'll actually see him. Just because he does move pretty slow, you can chaff him up, even though he'll tear through that chaff in a turn. But, the option's still there. I'll be honest. I know some people are just really excited that Gotrek's back. I just don't have any emotion. Like I said, I didn't play Fantasy Battles. I didn't read any of those books. Have no attachment to that character. So, I know people are excited. That's awesome for them. I hope... I don't think it'll become a thing where, we see like 40 Gotreks running around the field. But, let's see. Oh, I forgot to do their eyes. That's what I need to do. I feel like these guys are missing a pop of color around their face. Grab that red. Gotrek versus Gotrek. That's one that I want to see on the tabletop. That'd be a fun one to see at a competitive event, because then the question becomes like, which player was smart enough to add other stuff in their army that could actually complete the mission. Who made the better others? What is it like? Let's go check like 520. So 1480 point list. Hello. What's up? I'm live. That's cool. What's up? Are you ready to go?
No.
Oh, okay. Let me know when you are.
Okay.
We're having a lazy day here at the Griggs house, so just popped in for a hot second and say hi. Yeah, Gotrek and 40 Skink sounds terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you. Gotrek versus 40 Skink sounds hilarious. Oakshan, Warcry is the best. Love it. Oh man, me too. I'm absolutely in love with that game. 100%. I didn't play nearly as much of it as I wanted to at Nova. I never did get my big game in with Aaron Bastian, but we'll have to make that happen. I think I was just very overwhelmed by, like, again, it was my first convention, so I was just very overwhelmed by, like, all the stuff happening all the time. It was crazy. You owe me a game next year. Absolutely, you're on. Okay, so you know, 1 second, looking for a paint here. Lunch required. So you don't the brutes. I just wanted to mention Doug at the Mega Boss I painted while the Hobby Hangout in the Games Workshop website page. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I've never gotten any of my stuff to be up there, but that's really awesome, man. You should be super happy about that. Achievement unlocked. Did you watch the latest Warhammer Weekly? Not yet. I was working late at work, so I wasn't able to. But that's awesome. I'll keep an ear out for you, my friend. So what I'm doing is just starting the most tedious part of the Death Guard for me anyway, at least with this game, which is doing all of the trim and the metallics. It's basically a combination of Balthazar Gold and the Dark Iron, which is the newer base paint they came out with, which is my favorite. Lead Belcher was sweet for a while, but man, the whatever it's called, Iron Legion or whatever it is. Is it Dark Iron? Iron Warriors, that's what it is, the base paint, Iron Warriors. I love it. One day I'll be famous. Isn't everyone wants Jack going to Adepticon? I know he's going to LVO. I don't know if he's going to Adepticon. He wants to rub shoulders with the top tier players. Like a boss. I had an absolute blast with him. I'm so glad that we went together for Nova. Let's see. Anybody else working on anything right now? Might have time to finish this guy, maybe one other. With this color, I mean. Ooh. I don't know if I heard that. There's a huge ass dog outside. Borg puppy. We had a whole bunch of neighbors move in, and all at, we'll say, various levels of canine expertise. How about that? Where, you know, some were just very poorly trained. I don't ever blame the dog. Always blame the owner. But when someone's like, I'm not really serious about dog training, and it's like you own an aggressive Doberman. Was that a good choice? Was it? Really? He's coming together. Do I have a dog? No. I'm actually on the 3rd floor, and the dog is like on outside being walked by its owner. It was just a big old bark. That's why it was so loud. Flipping Witch Elves for Warcry Warband. Nice. Nice. Need to make Seraphon custom cards. You should get a puppy. Oh, you know, Jess and I have talked, like, one day when we work from home, we'd love to get a dog, but our schedules, we're just gone so much of the day. It'd be so mean to that poor dog, whatever dog it would be. You know, you gotta think of the pet's needs before your own. That's why we have our cat. And I love him, but he doesn't care about us at all. That's not true, he loves us, but I love that I can be gone, you know, all day, come home, gets a few cuddles, and he walks away. He's like, I'm done with you. It's like, good. I am also done with you. I'm glad we have this arrangement. Cats are the devil. Yeah, I love my cat. We always had cats and dogs growing up, both. It was never really one or the other. Love dogs when they're tired. Yeah, they get all like just lazy and turn melt. Dogs are a blast. We have friends with dogs, and I love going out and walking. Like, I'll offer to walk their dogs just to get out, stretch, hang out with a fun little fur creature, have some fun. We have an amazing dog park here where, like, yeah, it's just like several acres, and there's a river that runs through it, so all the dogs can hop in the water and play together, that kind of stuff. Are sacred spawnings gone? I don't know what that means. What was a sacred spawning? And then I will tell you if it's still around. Like a Mark of Sotek. Oh, no, they're not around, but I wouldn't be surprised if they came back with the way that the books have been designed. Because the Seraphon book came out long before they started doing anything like that, where you could, you know, mark your army to be from a certain, what we would call like a storm host or something like that, like any kind of affiliation. So, no, not right now, but I would not be surprised if they came back. I had a feeling that you were talking about, but I wasn't quite sure, so before I made an idiot of myself. Okay, looking pretty good. I just gotta do the gross stuff to him. Get the gunk and throw my favorite contrast paint on him. If you guys have not tried it, Mago's purple is my favorite. It's actually pink, and Vulpus pink is actually purple. I like to think that they just switched the bottles during at the plant, and now they're just like, you know what? Roll with it. Unfinal prediction: the Seraphon will be rolled in the Stormcast and be the Dino Cast Chamber. That'd be amazing. Classic Greenland, Iceland. Exactly. Yes, that's these colors as well. Switched at birth. I'm also not opposed to snakes as pets at all, but when I think of a pet, I want something I can, like, it's furry. You kind of cuddle, snuggle up. Snakes don't seem cuddly to me. They might have the personality of cuddling by just, like, slinking all over you, but not for me. Chinchilla. Opposed to a chinchilla. It's fine. Guinea pigs are a delicacy. Not opposed to tarantulas at all. This, what do they do? You know what I mean? Like, my cat does all kinds of quirky things around the house. And dogs, you can play with them, play fetch. I mean, you can play with the cat too, obviously. But like, when I think about tarantulas, I just don't think that they do anything other than creep out house guests, which is a valid reason to own anything. Oh yeah, I couldn't have a spider because my wife would kill me. She didn't even like. Yeah, I took a picture on Instagram of like a fake skeleton fish I was gonna buy for my display board for these guys, or for my Nurgle pirate guys. And next to that was a giant skeletal spider, and she was like, "Nope." I was like, "Doesn't make sense. Spiders don't have skeletons," but whatever. I'm calling this guy done. I like him. Gotta base him, of course. I mean, painting wise he's done, but basing is still gotta do, so. Let's see. Next we will paint bombardier guy. I don't know about you guys, whenever I'm painting a model, I always do like one limb at a time to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'll be like, okay, now we're going to paint the left arm, now we're going to paint the right arm, and I just do all little details up and down it. But I know when some other people paint, they kind of like hop around different parts and that kind of stuff, and I couldn't imagine I would just miss everything. Let's see. Hoping to get my Mindbound finished up. You mean Bloodbound? Oh wait, Mindbound. That's a new thing from what's it called? Warcry, right? Yes. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. The second I asked if it kind of clicked, I was like, oh no, Mindbound are a thing. Didn't know if it was autocorrect. What's poppin'? I'm just painting the last little bits of a shoulder pad here. I'm not going to stream for too much longer. Gotta save my voice to record some videos. As far as what's coming out this week, I should have one on a lore video on Ilrathi's Guardians from Underworlds. That's the Sylvaneth faction in that game. And then I'm going to do a simpler one, just talking about the stuff that I got at Nova, like a hobby haul style video, because I got some really cool things and stuff that I haven't talked about before, but that I'm very excited about. Is model height relevant in Warcry? Like if I make my base as thick, is that too gamey? No, I mean, you'd be able to see more, but then more people would be able to see you. But honestly, a lot of the ranges in Warcry, for the most part, unless you're playing against like Stormcast or something like that, honestly, they don't matter because you're just going to charge people and punch them in the face. Like, I'm sure if you went to the highest levels of competitive play, it would matter, but, you know, if you're just trying to make some sick-looking dudes to bring to your store, it will not matter whatsoever, I promise. Sorry, Doug, what are you painting? I'm painting Death Guard stuff. I hope to make a triumphant entry into 40k here pretty soon. And I'm excited about it. By triumphant entry, I mean into lore. I played the game before, but I don't think I really played a game of 40k since I had my orcs, to be honest with you. It's been a while. Let's see. We're gonna see your Beast of Chaos for AOS. No, those are long gone, bro. Those have been gone for a long, long time. Almost 6 months at this point. I got so burnt out on the army because I kept building and painting, and I got into it pretty much when the book got released. You know, not day one, but soon after, and maybe like 2 months after it got released. And it just became more and more clear that's like, man, there's just certain units that internally the book is poorly balanced. I don't think it's like game breaking. I think it has some cool tricks to like be in like the as Vince Ventrella puts it, the fat middle of the pack, meaning like it's pretty on par with a lot of other books, which is a good thing balance wise for the game. But internally, like, some units are just redundant and far outshone by others. I was like, I feel like if I play what I want to play, it's not fun. If I play what's good, I'm net listing, and I don't like that. I don't know. Kind of got me in a weird spot. So what I'm trying to do right now is a grand combination of Nurgle. Nurgle for 40k and also AOS. So I have these guys, it's Death Guard obviously, and then I also have a bunch of demons to go complement them. And I'll also be playing Maggotkin of Nurgle. I grabbed my battle tome last night. I'm very excited. Jack was a good friend this morning and was like, hey, do you know how Nurgle plays so you don't have another Beast of Chaos incident where you're like, I don't like this army, you know, after you've already invested in it. What I like about the Nurgle thing is there's a few ways to play it. You know, there's lists out there that are extremely elite with big monsters. There's lists that are focused on generating mortal wounds, some that are about summoning. And the book seems internally like I've heard really great reasons to go for Plague Bearers, and I've heard great reasons to go for Blight Lords and all that kind of stuff, so I like that. Makes me excited. Sniper Lieutenant on eBay is $100 plus. Yeah, man. I went and looked up last night that Free Sisters of Battle model that we all got at Nova. It's selling for like 80, 90 bucks. I'm like, are you people kidding me? Oop, definitely dropped him into a bunch of paint. Yep, sure did. Oh, good. Okay, camera off. Okay, let me throw a quick wash on these guys. I have 1,000 points of painted Nurgle. Never intended to play. That's awesome. I need to get better about that. I need to get better at getting stuff just because I want it, not because I'm going to play it. You know what I mean? I just like, so I think I mentioned this before, but I'm a sucker for a good battalion in the sense of I love it when GW gives us a cool vision of an army in a way that we can build it. And a lot of the Nurgle battalions just really seem interesting. Not effective in the game necessarily, but just interesting in terms of like, you know, the Taliban of Nurgle operates very differently from like Nurgle's Menagerie. If you don't know, the Taliban regenerates models in a unit in that battalion every round, and the Menagerie poops out trees every turn, basically. So it's like, oh, this is so cool. Can't get behind Nurgle. Yeah. I get that. A lot of folks are not Nurgle fans. Can't do Maggotkin or demons. Interesting. I can do the demons. The only demons I'm not the biggest fans of the model. I'm going to build them exactly as they come with no customization. Is the Plague Bearer on the fly. I love the Maggotkin, like the actual mortals riding the flies, because they just look like they were designed better. But yeah, the Plague Bearer on the fly, not my favorite model. It's because their legs don't fit, really. They're kind of this weird gap between where the Plague Bearer sits and the actual dude. Atomic Topher, I totally get that. Lack of mortal. Slaanesh is a real bummer. Kinsey, I agree. I think middle of the road is the best place to be. Because it means you got options. You can always improve. You can always be that person that no one sees coming at an event. Talk like a towel there, very cute. Yeah. Well, you know, cute is what I strive for on this channel all the time. So the only brush in this new Games and Gear set, I'm going to do a full review that I'm not a fan of, is the dry brush. I like a different kind of dry brush than that one, but that's alright. If there's one brush out of like 12, I'm not a fan of. That's alright. That's good odds. Vinci, I get spooky quiet. Yeah, I've had people tell me I'm no fun to play against, and this is a long time ago. I've definitely worked on it since, but when I get into game mode, like I'm trying to solve a puzzle, I get very quiet. People are like, "Oh my god, did I piss them off or something like that?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm not mad. I'm just thinking." And then when I hit that crucial moment where I'm just like, I'm going to lose this game. That's when I become fun again. Where I'm like, now we're just gonna have fun, right? Now we're just gonna. The puzzle can't be solved. I'm just gonna laugh a lot and that kind of stuff. Come up with my own personal moral victories, like killing their leader or something like that. Came to watch your one game Saturday. You're completely focused. Yeah, Saturday. What would that have been? I think that would have been. Oh, that was during the Lore Master Challenge when I had my Stormcast versus like 40 Witch Elves. Somebody had 2 units of 20 from Chuck Moore, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Yeah, no. That was funny. That was a good game. Got stomped. Put a big dent into one. No, that's not true. I destroyed one unit of witches outright. Which was awesome. But it took so much of my like inertia to do that I just didn't have anything for the rest of it. So he deleted me. Okay. Well, friends. Waiting for these two to dry a little bit so I can put some washes on them. So I'm going to hop off so my wife and I can go run some errands real quick. But I'll be back. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Oh, I just realized the guy who... I also got these used. The guy who built them put them on the wrong bases. That's fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he should be on a 32, not a 40. Cool. I'll figure that one out when he dries. Okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. I will catch you all soon. Again, videos are back in action this week because my voice is coming back in stages. So I'm pumping them out as I can. And I will talk to you all very soon.